Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leschwitz Recital Hall. At this time, we ask that you please silence your electronic devices and locate the nearest exit in the event of an emergency. Please note that food, drink, and flash photography are not permitted in the hall. Thank you and enjoy the performance.
Good afternoon. My name is Shay Scruggs. I serve as the director here at the Cali School, and it is a pleasure to welcome you all to Leschwitz Hall for our Wednesday midweek concert featuring the incredible PAQUITO de RIVERA. PAQUITO is one of the most creative and versatile and decorated musicians really the field has ever seen. When you win 16 Grammys spread across classical music and jazz, it's pretty incredible. And it's been so wonderful to host him here, to see him working with our students, and we're so grateful that he's been able to spend this time with us. So I'm really excited about the concert that we're gonna get a chance to hear. He's going to be playing a little bit with Oscar Perez, and he'll be speaking a little bit and hopefully answering a couple of questions from folks. But before we get started with that, I wanted to just say a couple of words about this incredible immersive residency program that allows us to bring great artists like PAQUITO. So just to give you a little sense of what that is, we're essentially able to bring guest artists and really embed them in the work that we do here. So that can look like things like master classes, practicums. In this case, because PAQUITO is a composer and a clarinetist and a saxophone player, he did composition workshops, he did some improvisation workshops, and it's been really inspiring to see our kids go into that and learn, and I'm so proud of the work that they've done in order to prepare themselves to come in and get the most out of all of those touch points. So it's going to be really cool to see some of that happen. So many people have to do so much good work to make something like this happen. So I want to say a couple of thank yous just to make sure that that we communicate our gratitude to the many, many folks, a few of the many, many folks that make this work. First and foremost, I want to thank Oscar Perez for the incredible work that he's done as the faculty lead here. He's brought incredible finesse and connection to this residency, and you're going to see the fruits of that today. So thank you, Oscar. I want to thank our entire faculty group for all that they've done to open up their classes, find connection points, and really prepare students so that they are in a position to get a lot out of their time with a great artist like PAQUITO. I also want to thank Stephanie Hagerstone, who serves as our associate director. She brings real vision and structure to all of the incredible work that we do, and everything that she's involved in is made better. So thank you, Stephanie. And of course, I want to thank Catherine Lockwood, who is really the creative leadership behind this immersive residency program. It's just incredible, the detail and vision that she brings to it. Catherine, I'm not sure if you're here now, but you are just awesome. Thank you so much for all the work that you do here. So, before we bring out the incredible PAQUITO, I just want to say a couple other things. We will have a reception after the concert. It'll be right out there. If you are hungry, I suggest you make your way down there because this is a pretty big crowd, and I think all the food might be gone if you take your time. The other thing is, if you like this concert, there will be an encore of sorts this Friday at Merkin Hall downtown, or in New York, at the Kaufman Center. Our kids are going to play side by side with the kids from the Special Music School, and they're going to play with PAQUITO. It's going to be an awesome concert. Head out to New York, make a night out of it. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. So just wanted to mention that. With that, I want to thank you all again for coming out, and I want to give the stage over to Oscar Perez and the incredible Paquito de Rivera. Thank you.
Welcome to our rehearsal.
My father used to say, that is one note, what about the others, huh? We never played this before. So keep your ears very open, because maybe we never play it again.
Important. I mean, can you all hear me okay? Oh, fantastic. One more time. Let's hear it for the great Paquito de Rivera. Thank you all so much for being here. I am overjoyed. I mean, I can't even put into words. When you get to play with your heroes, you know, it's a life-changing event. And I've been very fortunate in my life to play with some of my heroes, but this tops them all. So one more time, please, Paquito. Thank you. Gracias. So this is a wonderful piece called Contradanza, and in my research, I have found that this is really kind of like it's based on French music from the 1800s. It's a dance. It's like a square dance, if you will. Right?
That comes, yeah, it's a combination of many things. Yeah. This type of music is sister of the Brazilian chorinho, yes, and also the Puerto Rican danza. But all comes directly from the contradance. The contradance. The European contradance, mainly from France.
Yes, yes.
You know, the Haitian music has something to do with that also. Mm-hmm. There is some Haitian piano music and music from the small Antilles, yes, pequeñas Antillas. For example, Martinique had an enormous population of pianists. The national instrument there is not the bongo, it's the piano. They have thousands of good pianists there.
Interesting. That's wild, yeah. You know, and what I love about the way you wrote this piece.
Somebody say meow, meow.
What I love about this piece is like later on the contradanza became like the danzón. And in there, you also have elements of the Montuno section and everything. So, like, you're also bringing in some of that, the new music that the contradance became the danzón, and you have that represented in there as well because it makes you want to dance.
The seed is in the contradanza, in the danza.
Exactly.
The danzón came later. I think it was in 1868. El danzón, in Matanzas, in the city of Matanzas. There was a cornetist by the name of Miguel Failde. He created el danzón. Las alturas de Simpson, you remember that?
Yes, las alturas de Simpson. Eso. Because you have that, pero bien, always you have the.
That Habanera rhythm is right there. And it is said that the habanera and not the habanera. In Spanish, bañera, you know what is that? It's a bathtub. No. Nothing to do with that.
Two different things.
They say that the habanera is the seat of the tango music also.
Of course.
It's interesting because it is very few African American from the entire continent, from America.
Yeah.
In the tango music, but even the origin or the origin of the name is African. Tango. That doesn't sound like French to me.
That's right.
Tango. Tango sounds very African to me.
That's right. That's right.
And then the rhythm of the tango initially. Yeah. Later on they elaborate on that. But it's the pom 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 pom. The habanera, which was the first Cuban rhythm that is not Cuban.
That's right.
That was born in the ship that come from Cali to La Habana. Wow. So that music was born in the ships that come from one place from the north of Spain. I mean, from Cadiz in the south of Spain, Andalusia, to Havana. Interesting the story of the music.
It is, you know, and it's amazing how from those travels, from the slave trade, from things that we now consider, of course, but you consider them to be these horrible things that happened in the world, but from these tragedies come beauty.
Incredible that.
It really is.
Sometimes terrible thing that slavery, we have this type of music, here we have the blues, and the rumba, the samba, all those are between the combination of Africa and Europe.
That's right.
Because they emphasize all the time in the African influence, but also the European influence is important there. In Spain, that the national music is the flamenco.
Right.
Flamenco has a lot to do with the north of Africa also.
That's right, of course.
It's the mixture of things, the
It
mixture
is.
of elements.
Whenever people move from one place to another,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
by choice or not,
Even when you move from neighborhoods,
that's right.
you know, from the Bronx to Miami, and then you start eating.
It's true. It's true.
Too cold in the Bronx, huh?
That's thank you for that piece of music. It was great. He sent it to me a few weeks ago, and he said, "Let's play this."
This is part of a string woodwind quintet also. We are going to play this piece
Perfect
with
segue.
this wonderful woodwind quintet that they have here. Very impressive. We were supposed to have a rehearsal tomorrow again. We don't need it.
Don't
They
need it.
play perfectly.
It was the shortest coaching session I've ever seen. He came in, and the Woodwind Quintet, which, by the way, is going to play at Merkin Hall this Friday. Please get your tickets. And they played this wonderful piece that Paquito wrote called Aires Tropicales.
Tropical airs, yeah.
Yeah, Tropicales. And this is one of the movements from that. And they played it great. In fact, my daughter was here doing a homework in the back.
The
And she
mathematician.
said, Bobby, I know that song. I know that piece. I'm like, yeah, I've been practicing it. She goes, oh. I knew it sounded familiar, but it was beautiful because it was the bassoon and the oboe and the clarinet and the flute. It was gorgeous. So make sure you get your tickets and check it out on Friday. They're going to play it.
And this contradanza is important to say that it's dedicated to probably the most representative of the Cuban composers, or the Cuban musicians in general. Was a piano virtuoso by the name of Ernesto Lecuona. He was a virtuoso concert pianist.
Yep.
That his popularity as a writer composer of songs destroyed his career as a concert pianist.
Interesting.
Because he tried to play a list or Rachmaninoff. I said, no, play your songs.
Play your
man.
songs. We like
Yeah.
those better. Yeah. That's nice. That Rachmaninoff, that's nice. But can you play that song I like?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's great, yeah. Lecuona, I've heard described as he is like the Cuban George Gershwin.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
usually they say that.
Yeah.
It's
Not
a
to
big
discredit.
difference between them, but the intention was the same.
Exactly.
The intention was the same, and they were both great pianists.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're known more. When I was a kid growing up, my father would love me to play Lecuona. You know,
Keep playing.
thank you for that.
The magic of improvisation, huh?
Magic of improvisation.
Isaiah said, "Yo, that we never played this. This is true."
Yeah, never.
It shows, huh?
We didn't even talk about playing this one. I said, welcome
Next
to the
time
rehearsal.
we learn those sostenidos and bemoles there.
Eso.
Yeah.
We learn. Every year we learn a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Lecuona, you have wonderful arrangement of that piece that's called La Comparsa. La Comparsa is the carnival, ¿cómo es? No.
La comparsa is like, it's like a carnival. It's una conga.
Yeah. He has a wonderful arrangement of La Comparsa. Yeah. Let's talk about something that I've had on my mind all week. You know.
What?
Talk to me a little bit about like the challenges of being a musician in Cuba since the revolution. Like, how did life change for you as a musician before the revolution, after the revolution, as an artist?
Everything changed there.
Yeah.
They, to say in very few words, they destroy everything there. And make some people in the world to believe that they are building something. They were building nothing. They were destroying, and telling people what to do. Even there was a time, now they have a jazz festival there. And it's a contradiction. Because in all totalitarian countries, jazz is a 4-letter word. I don't know if you know about the book called Red and Hot, the saga of jazz in the Soviet Union. You never, but Fred Starr is the writer.
Okay.
He's a Russian Russian Jewish writer, and he talked about not only the music, not only in the Soviet Union, but in all of the countries that the communism or totalitarian, any other type of totalitarianism come to power. It's the same thing. They hate, especially jazz music, because the jazz musicians are very independent. Right. Sometimes they don't even papers, Right. Let's play something, and then that people that play improvised music, we develop a very independent mind. Right. That is not very culture for people that are in charge of totalitarian countries. And we have a terrible time to do whatever we want until they authorize it. Yeah.
The ability to have artistic freedom.
Yeah, or any type of freedom.
Any kind of freedom.
Any type. They have to control everything. I was watching a movie the other day about a Hungarian woman who was champion of the world of chess.
Oh, okay.
Hungarian girl. And not only her, but three. The guy had three daughters. And the three of them became great masters, they call it.
See.
And they have problem to get out of Hungary just to play abroad. Wow. Because they have to wait until an authorization.
Right.
Try to imagine telling an American composer or a French composer what he had to write or what not to write or who not to talk to and all that. Controlling a composer is very hard, it's really hard.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that I really got from your book, you've written a few books. You're a wonderful author as well.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
We spoke this morning with the students about this wonderful book called Letters to Yeyito, which is right here, on sale, Amazon. And it's a wonderful book. And in it, there are many stories in this book that point to why a life in music is worth it, why it is important. And one of the things that goes through the whole book is the musician and the artists need to survive, to be resilient, and to find a way to express themselves. Yeah. So I feel like that's something that everybody that came up with you, and today, wonderful musicians coming out of Cuba, coming out of places all over the world where there's oppression, they find a way. They always find a way.
Well, some people make the, you don't call it the ends meet.
They make the ends meet.
Yeah.
Right.
But some other, it's hard. It's not easy to make a career as anything, but especially as a musician. You can find rejection all over the place in our profession.
Correct.
But we have to keep doing. He's talking about that book. It's called Letters to Yeyito, because many, many years ago,
Yes, that's great.
I was playing in the moment that was the most popular group in Havana, in Cuba, called Orquesta Cubana de Música Moderna, modern music or Cuban orchestra or something like that. And in that moment, I was like 16 years old, 17 years old, no more than that. That was in 1967, yeah, 18 years old. And we were traveling all over the country with the orchestra with tremendous success. And I received a note from a guy. He said, Paquito, I am a student, a saxophone student, and I want to ask you if it is worth it to pursue a career in the music world. Yeyito. No returning address, no telephone, nothing. I was having a lot of fun. We were 16, 17 years old, and I have surrounded with the best musicians in the world. All the girls love us. And it was really fantastic. I was not the correct people to ask me, because I was having so much fun. And on the other hand, I didn't have any address to answer him. But 55 years later, the publishers of this company, they asked me to write a book about the music students. And I remember then Yeyito. And then I tell him the editor, I told him the story of Yeyito and how he wrote me that, and I had no way to answer him. And he said, now is the moment to answer. Then I designed a book in the form of an imaginary student and in letters. Things that it's like responding to Yeyito's letter 55 years later. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of anecdotes of what happened when I met Dizzy Gillespie. when he left a note in my house, I didn't know that he was in Havana. He left a note at my door. They said, Paquito, we have been looking for you. Where are you? Dizzy Gillespie. He said, what type of joke is this? And then it was written in a paperback. Then I went to the bodega, the esquina. The bodega is how you call the grocery store. And then the bodeguero there was there. Did you receive the note? I said, the note? What note is that? I said, well, like 20 minutes ago, there was a guy here, a chubby black cat, dressed out, smoking a pipe, who dressed like Sherlock Holmes. A chubby black guy dressed like Sherlock Holmes, smoking a pipe. That must be Dizzy Gillespie. And the guy said, Dizzy who? And then forget about it. And half hour later, we find out that Dizzy was around there with Arturo Sandoval.
Right.
Arturo found him coming down from the ship.
Right.
From the
The
cruise.
ship was docked there
And
for
he
the
approached
day.
him and said, you are Dizzy Gillespie? Yeah, oh, I love your plane. You want to come with me around the city? And Dizzy was crazy enough to go with somebody that he didn't know. Sure. And Arturo took him to my house.
There you go.
That was the beginning of a lifelong friendship
That's beautiful.
with Dizzy Gillespie.
Yes.
Dizzy Gillespie, who was, well, still is, one of the most influential musicians of all time. He influenced in all of us, musically and lovely also. Yeah. Everybody loved Dizzy. He was such a wonderful person. And in this case, in this piece, which is based in this is Con Alma. And the name of this wonderful pianist is Rini Rosnes from Canada. And he wrote this variation, beautiful, and it's called Dizzy Spells.
Dizzy Spells.
That solo was something, man, that you played there. And I bet that you cannot play that again.
Yeah. No, that's a great piece. That's a great piece. Wonderful harmonies. It's beautiful.
It sounds like to orchestrate it for the whole symphony orchestra, right?
I know, yes. Let's work on that.
Wonderful. Rini Rosnes. Remember
Rini
that
Rosnes.
name because she's a very important pianist. Dizzy loved her. Well, all of us
Yeah.
love Rini Rosnes because she had that special way to swing with class. She's so elegant.
Very elegant, yes. He's a
Very
very elegant
elegant
woman,
player,
yes.
yeah.
And
She's
she
like
lives
that,
here. She lives around here.
Yeah.
I think she lives in one of the oranges, yeah.
Her husband is a great pianist too, Bill Chap, no?
Bill Charlap,
Bill
yes.
Charlap, yeah,
Yes. Yeah, they're both wonderful. They play duo all the time as well.
Yeah.
It's
I
great.
would love to live next to them, to be their neighbor, to listen to them playing together and fighting together, I believe, too.
Yeah, Dizzy was important to everybody, you know.
This was very important for everybody. I think he was the first big name who include elements of the Latin American music, starting with Cuba, then Brazil,
Right.
and in general the Argentinian tango, and Latin American musicians in his band also.
He is really one of the greatest ambassadors of the music
Yeah.
that we have had.
He created a band, not only him and his producer, Charles Fishman. They created an orchestra called the United Nations Orchestra. I was I was one of the founder members of that orchestra. And many people think that United Nations came from the name of the United Nations organization. But no, the reality is that Dizzy was a Baha'i. Baha'i is a religion with a very wonderful philosophy. They believe that the world is just one big country. Just one country, and then the countries are neighborhoods, like the Bronx and downtown Los Angeles, then
Just
Bolivia.
neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The neighborhoods in the country.
Just neighborhoods. And then he created the United Nations Orchestra. It's something like the United Nations organization, with the difference that this orchestra work. Well, they try it. They don't. We cannot, not everything is bad.
And you took over that orchestra after Dizzy passed. You took it over, you recorded with
Yeah.
them?
Me and Sly Hampton.
Slide Hampton, right.
We put together the band once in a while, but it was a little hard to travel with all that. It's almost a big band. It's a diet big band.
It's a diet big band, right? 'Cause it's,
Low fat
right, low
big
fat,
band.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
No carbs.
Yeah, it's, you know, always I say, it's nothing like the sound of a big band. Nothing sound like that.
Yeah.
You know, the sound of a big band is like sound of a symphony orchestra or something like that. It's just different. But always I say that every time that I want to have some fun and lose some money, I put together a big band. Yeah.
Because there's nothing like the sound, so it's worth losing some money over. Yeah, absolutely.
You see your bank account going like that. And you're happy with the sound until you see the, you know.
A question for you, because you've had so many wonderful, amazing mentors in your life, starting with your father, who is, you know, your first teacher, right? He was a saxophone player. Tell us a little bit about your father.
My father was, every day I express my gratitude to my father. He was a classical saxophone player. He was the person who imported the French school from the Conservatory of Paris in 1943. He never had, or he thought, he never had the ability to improvise. But he loved the Benny Goodman Orchestra, the Ellington Orchestra, and Leslie Young, Stan Getz, and I don't blame him for that. So he was the person who came home once when he was 10 or 11 years old, maybe less, 9, 10, with the recording that Benny Goodman did in 1938. That recording came out in 1956. Right. And he played that for me. And I was impressed. That recording changed my life forever. So what is that? My father told me that is the city of New York. That is a gentleman by the clarinet is called Benny Goodman. And that was recorded at Carnegie Hall in New York. When he said Carnegie Hall, I understood carne y frijol. It's beans and meat, you know. I was wondering what have to do what my mother cook at home with Benny Goodman, you know. But then I keep that in my mind until a few years ago, I celebrated my 50th anniversary as a musician in Carnegie Hall, and my mother cooked for me carne frijol at home. It was fantastic.
How do you think that, like, you having these, like your father, having Dizzy, you know, having Bebo Valdez,
And
Chucho, Felix Guerrero, these wonderful teachers and mentors, how has that shaped your position as a band leader and as somebody who now mentors people in your band, when you visit, when you do master classes, when, you know?
I was helped by all those guys. Yeah. But Dizzy, Bebo, my father was my father. He was forced to do that. Right. But all those people that give me their hands make me feel that I have the obligation to help others. Yeah. That's why I am so happy to be in this wonderful school. I feel like a duty to me to be here. It's the best. Because I was lucky, but all those guys, Dizzy, my father, Guerrero, Guerrero was my harmony teacher. Right. He was first prize in the Paris Conservatory, in the Fontainebleau Conservatory in Paris.
And he taught everybody harmony.
Everybody
that you know who from Cuba took from Felix Guerrero.
Felix Guerrero, yeah, he was a great teacher. Yeah. And as I said before, I was lucky to find people that help me and people that plays good, like you, for example.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I mean, yeah, Oscar is very special. Oscar Perez is very special, and this is not just a compliment, an empty compliment. He is a great communicator and a great pianist, and always in a good mood. I learned a lot from him, just by listening to him play. I think it is Maestro Oscar Perez.
Well, I think it's fitting that we say goodnight right now. Like, this is the perfect timing. You know, let's end on a high note. Why don't we play one more song? I think it's appropriate if we play that song we were talking about.
I think we should play, I think about Cole Porter, I think, wrote that?
I think, yes, Cole Porter.
Well, I think it's very appropriate to play something that we all feel by being in this school. Let's play I Love You.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. We will bid you adieu. We have a reception outside, and please remember we have the concert at Merkin Hall featuring PAQUITO's Quintet, the MSUJE, which is Montclair State University Jazz Ensemble, and the Woodwind Quintet as well, plus some adult students from the Lucy Moses School. Please come out, get your tickets. It is this Friday at 7 o'clock, Merkin Hall in New York City. Thank you all so much.